She'll spend her entire visit groveling at Keith's feet.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were jealous.
I prefer a deeper, more meaningful relationship.
You know what, kid?
What?
You're boring.
The Partridge Family premiered in 1970 and swiftly became a cultural sensation, turning neck ruffles and David Cassidy into national obsessions. For 4 seasons, viewers joined Oscar-winning actress Shirley Jones and her fictional family in song. The show captured a sense of sweet innocence, guiding audiences through the early 1970s with its gentle musical touch. Here are 10 weird facts you might not know. But maybe, just maybe, you know them all. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. Be sure to stay to the end for a bonus fact.
We'll make you happy.
Number 1. The concept for the show was inspired by the real-life family band, the Cowsills, comprising 6 musical siblings ranging in age from 8 to 19, and their mother. The band found modest success with a few hits in the late 1960s. In a playful tone, Susan Cowsill has humorously shared her mock frustration, admitting she could never determine which of the sisters on the show was supposed to represent her.
What'd he say? He said, if we don't stop bothering him, he's gonna send over a man with an axe to chop us up into little pieces.
Number 2. Viewers with keen eyes might have noticed the Partridge Family's house looked familiar, especially if they were fans of other primetime shows from the same era. The house was previously home to Samantha and Darren Stevens' nosy neighbors, the Kravitzes, on Bewitched. On occasion, the Stevens house stood out prominently as the Partridge Family's colorful bus rolled past. Number 3. Although Shirley Jones and David Cassidy were the only cast members who could play instruments and actually performed on Partridge Family records, while the others lip-synced, the entire group was nominated for a Best New Artist Grammy in 1971, losing to the Carpenters. Their biggest hit, I Think I Love You, topped the Billboard charts in 1970.
I think I love you.
Outselling the Beatles' Let It Be. The show itself earned nominations for Best TV Show at the Golden Globe Awards for 2 consecutive years.
However, there are some legal points I'd like to go over.
How old is he?
10.
I keep getting this funny feeling that I'm dealing with a 40-year-old midget.
Number 4. The Partridges famously traveled to their concert gigs in a bright, geometric patterned bus, its primary colored design inspired by a Dutch artist. While the musical family drove straight into TV history, the bus's fate was far less glamorous. The iconic 1957 Chevy, a vibrant and eccentric symbol of the show, might have been expected to end up in a museum or a collection of TV memorabilia. After the show ended, it lived for years behind Lucy's Tacos on Martin Luther King Boulevard, right by the University of Southern California. It got pretty trashed, though, eventually landing in a Los Angeles junkyard in 1987.
If anyone had told me 4 months ago that I'd be driving an old school bus filled with my 5 children and a large dog through Hollywood, I'd have thought they were crazy.
Number 5. While the show was a hit and the records were topping the charts, the cast wasn't reaping financial rewards. The most egregious case was David Cassidy's exploitation. As a teen idol and superstar, he sold out stadiums and was mobbed by fans wherever he went. His likeness was everywhere, with companies making a fortune from products featuring his image. Yet his contract didn't entitle him to any royalties or even require his permission. Girls who joined the David Cassidy fan club unknowingly lined the pockets of people he hadn't authorized to use his name. It wasn't until his manager realized he had signed the contract as a minor that they renegotiated the terms, finally securing him a share of the profits and a salary befitting his star status.
Inspection!
I want him found, now! God, I'm so angry I could just throw a rock at that poster of David Cassidy!
If you're enjoying this video and wouldn't mind supporting the channel, please tap the like button. Thanks so much. Now back to the countdown. Number 6, Susan Dey, who portrayed Lori, the eldest Partridge daughter, throughout the show's 4 seasons, declined to participate in any reunion specials after the sitcom ended. Her last public appearance with David Cassidy was as presenters at the 1990 MTV Video Music Awards. Following the Partridge Family, Dey found success starring in LA Law and taking on various other TV roles. Her decision to distance herself from her former co-stars reportedly stemmed from a dispute with Cassidy over details of their personal relationship that he disclosed in his 1994 autobiography.
No one I know, including Shirley and Danny, has seen or spoken to Susan Dey in years. And I was very, very close with her. I loved her. She loved me. We were brother and sister. I have a sense of sadness about it.
Number 7. At the height of his music career in the 1970s, David Cassidy's fan club became the largest in pop history, surpassing even the fervent followings of Elvis Presley and the Beatles from previous decades. In 1974, a gate stampede at his concert at London's White City Stadium resulted in nearly 800 injuries near the front of the stage. 30 people were hospitalized, and tragically, a 14-year-old girl passed away 4 days later. Cassidy said the unfortunate incident always haunted him. He said publicly that he will no longer tour.
I'm not retiring, I'm just not doing concerts anymore.
Number 8. By 1970, Shirley Jones was raising 3 sons with her husband, Jack Cassidy, and was eager to take on a steady TV role. She was offered the part of Carol Brady in a new series set to debut that fall, The Brady Bunch.
Here's the story of a lovely lady.
However, she turned it down, not wanting to spend all her scenes in the kitchen making sandwiches. Instead, she chose the role of Shirley Partridge, a former bank teller who joins her kids' singing group and leads them through their journey to superstardom.
My husband had died suddenly 6 months previously, and I was working at a local bank, trying to support the family.
Number 9. Before landing the role of Lori Partridge at 17, Susan Dey was a model with virtually no acting experience. She quickly captured the hearts of teenage boys everywhere, but her sudden rise to fame brought with it troubling coping mechanisms. Struggling with body image issues, Dey severely restricted her diet in an effort to fit the ideal of the perfect teen girl. At times, she would arrive on set with orange-tinted fingers from eating almost nothing but carrots. It wasn't until co-star Danny Bonaducci saw her in a bikini and grimaced that she realized the seriousness of her condition. Number 10. The producer's first choice for the part of Lori was actually not Susan Dey, but Olivia Newton-John. Ironically, when casting started for the 1978 musical hit Grease, Dey was a frontrunner for the female lead, Sandy. However, Dey apparently heeded the advice of her manager and turned down what would become the iconic role. The studio eventually told Newton-John that she was the one that they wanted. Now for a bonus fact. Susan Dey, 2 years younger than David Cassidy, felt a deep connection with him. While Cassidy cherished what he saw as a close and innocent friendship, Dey secretly harbored romantic feelings. Cassidy would return from tours and concerts, sharing stories of the adoring girls who followed him, many of whom succeeded in capturing his attention. Dey listened like a supportive friend, never revealing her true feelings. Eventually, Shirley Jones pulled Cassidy aside, explaining that his stories were breaking Dey's heart. Realizing his obliviousness, Cassidy felt regretful. After the show ended, they briefly explored a romantic relationship, but it didn't work out in the end. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope to see you again next time.
I don't believe it. Danny's in love.
I am not in love. She's ugly, she's got buck teeth, and I never want to see her again.
He's in love, all right.